and welcome to this week's episode of Nikki Eat World. Just giving you a heads up, I am very tired. It is my first week back to work after Christmas break, and let me tell you, 2 weeks off does not make it very easy to go back to work. So, I'm a teacher, by the way. I don't know if I've even talked about that, but I'm struggling. These kids are wearing me out. Anyway, we are in Bangladesh tonight. So I am making this bread. It is not naan. It is Paratha bread. It's another kind of flat bread. I think it's typically used with breakfast, eaten with breakfast, but I'm going to make it today. I'm also going to make some basmati rice because that's what I have to go with. I'm making curry, a shrimp curry. I think it's called Chingri Malai. So I think it came from Malaysia, but is now a Bangladeshi or Bengali? How do you? Something. Bengali recipe. So I am going to be making that. I have a bowl here that's got some flour, salt, and oil in it. I've got my hands, and I'm going to be, I'll bring you down here so you can kind of see. Not that you can see in the bowl, but okay. And I'm going to be just adding a little bit of water at a time until it forms a soft dough. All right, so while the dough just hanging out and resting over here, I started my rice in the rice cooker. How else? And I started getting the curry ready. So I have this big old pot here. I'm turning on the heat. I thawed my frozen shrimps. So this recipe called for some prawns and prawns with their heads on, but I've spent a lot of money recently and I didn't feel like buying prawns because they're more expensive. So I just got some frozen shrimp at Aldi, super cheap. And I have I'm warming up some oil. I called for mustard oil and I couldn't find it at either of the grocery stores I went to, and I didn't have time to go out to Jungle Gyms. So just using regular oil, hoping for the best. It said to drain these real good. Put them in here and put some salt and half of the turmeric. So I'm putting some salt on here. And half a teaspoon of turmeric. And I'm just going to cook these up until they're nice and pink and fried. And look delicious. And then I'm going to take them out and set them to the side. Today is another classic Nikki Eat World where I don't have the right ingredients. I was supposed to get onion paste. And I was like, I don't need it. Whatever, I don't love onion. But I think it's probably the thickening agent for the curry. So we're just going to have some pretty liquidy curry, I guess. But it'll be fine. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. So no onion paste today. But we'll get there when we get there. I'll tell you where it's supposed to go if you have it. I just read online you can make it yourself. So if you have some onions, look up how to make it yourself. Just realized I made more work for myself. I bought non-peeled shrimp and didn't realize until just now. So I'm going to have to deshell these real quick. And then stick them back in to get a little bit fried. More work. Alright, so it wasn't too difficult to peel them. I was smart and I got deveined once, so that was good. I didn't have to devein them. But the only challenging thing, I don't know if you can see that. Oh, there you go. They already had turmeric all over them, so my hands might be like permanently stained yellow now. We'll see. Anyway, I'm just gonna blast this with heat for like another minute because when I was peeling them, there was a couple of them that weren't quite good to go yet. I'm just gonna heat those for another minute, take them out, and then I will get started on the dirty part. So you guys are gonna watch me kind of struggle through this because this recipe that I chose it because it was like this lady who is Bengali and it's like her family recipe, and I was like, oh sweet. But if you don't know what you're doing, it's a little bit challenging to follow, but we're gonna do the best. So you just saw me put a tablespoon of ghee in here. Like I said, I don't have onion paste, which is what the next ingredient is, so I'm just gonna add some ginger paste in there, some 3 tablespoons of it, so it'll be really gingery. 3. So I'm gonna make up for the lack of onion paste by putting some more coconut milk in it. It calls for only a cup, but I'm just gonna do the whole thing. We'll see how much it thickens. Mix that all up, and then it says to put in some green chilies, some whole cardamom, and bay leaves, I guess. Alright, I'm just gonna like put in most of the ingredients because this is very challenging. Alright, calm down. Alright, so I put the green chilies. Well, shoot, hold on, just cut my finger open because I'm an idiot. Note to self, do not try to open a can with your fingernail. I don't know what got into me. I've never once done that. Well. Alright. So I'm going to keep going. Bandaged finger. And just add in most of the ingredients because I'm not really sure what else to do at this point. So I put in the green chilies. And now I need to put in the bay leaves and the green cardamom. So we recognize these from Bahrainian food. We need to put in 5 or 6 of them. Oh yeah. I have a whole thing of them. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them all, but we'll see. Alright, and then I'm going to put in some bay leaves, 3 or 4 of them. Come on now. 1, 2, 3, and a cinnamon stick. It says to use only a 1-inch piece. Mine are way bigger than 1 inch, but you don't eat it, so I'll be fine. I'll just do a skinny one. Okay. And I'm going to mix that up. And it said to put in the turmeric and the chili powder. Didn't work. But I'm going to use a knife this time to open the can because I learned my lesson. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but all the fat's at the top. My plan did not work this time, so I'm going to just use my knife and kind of push it in and stir it up so it's not all clumped. I won't stir it too much because it'll get stirred when I stick it in here, but I just want to make sure we get all that fatty goodness. Okay. So like I said, I'm using using more coconut milk than what it calls for to make up for my lack of onion paste. We'll see how it works. Hopefully it'll work. I'm mixing that in, and then it says to add the cashew nuts. Just to make sure it's smooth and creamy, which feels weird with cashew nuts. I don't know if I was supposed to make them into a paste. I kind of crushed them up a bit, and I hope that's good enough. Meanwhile, my dog is over here just licking the floor. Don't know what that's about. Probably some sort of food on the floor that he's into. Okay, so I did that. Mix it over low heat and mix well. Add half a cup of water and half of the garam masala powder, and then cover it. So because I did not use the onion paste, the curry's not really thickening like it's supposed to. So I'm going to go ahead and thicken it up with some cornstarch and pray that it doesn't ruin the flavor. I figured cornstarch is pretty benign, so it doesn't really mess with flavors too much. I still have to add some heavy cream, which will help with the thickening. But I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And then I'll add the heavy cream and stir that all up. That's not the right color, I think. So I was supposed to add sugar earlier. And I think that was supposed to help brown it a bit so that you get a deeper color. Right now, I'll show you in a minute, but it's pretty yellowy. It's supposed to be a little more like orangey. Okay, I'm just gonna stir that all up. Try to get it a little bit thicker before I add the shrimps back in. All right, so I think that it is pretty much done. Got the shrimps back in there. The cream's in there. It's thickened up pretty good, so that'll be good. Like I said, I think that I did not brown this stuff enough, so it's not as orange as the recipe looked, but I think it should still be good. Sorry. Okay. We're good. We're here. You can't see my face, but that's all right. All right, so then it says to put, sprinkle it with the ghee, the rest of the ghee, which is 2 tablespoons. I'm also going to use the ghee for the parathas. I just looked up how to say it. Parathas, I think. I don't know. That's what the YouTube video I watched said. And then don't mind me trying to get my head in this camera angle. Add the rest of the garam masala on top. Just sprinkle that. And then I'm going to cover it and turn off the heat and just kind of let it sit while I get everything else ready to go. So I have my dough ball here, and I'm going to split it into 8 different, 8 different balls. So you want it about 7 inches by 7 inches. I'm just going to go ahead and use this right in here. And then you're going to apply the ghee to the top. So there's like different shapes that you can make, a square-ish shape or a triangle shape. I'm going with square. Then you fold 1/3 of it in. Apply more ghee to that part. Put the other 1/3 in. Apply some more. 1/3 again. apply some more. Last third, and then you're gonna roll it back out to about 7 inches. So I'm gonna do that with all of them, and then you just stick them in a pan, kind of heat them up, and that's how you make the Parathas. So I've got one kind of rolled out. I still have 7 more to go, but it'll be all right. So once you have it rolled out, you kind of take it, not you kind of do, you do, take it and you stick it in the pan. Here, I'm gonna show you what I'm doing over here. And so then it says you kind of cook it until it bubbles. And then you're gonna flip it, pressing down with the spatula. And then I'm gonna move it over until, I'm gonna flip it back and forth until it kind of starts browning. Then I'm gonna make a pile of them on a wire rack, which is what I'm getting right now. And that's how I'm gonna make them. Now for some fun facts about Bangladesh. Their national animal is the Bengal tiger, whose roar can be heard up to 3 kilometers away, so that's pretty cool. I'm not going to try to butcher the Bangla, which is their language in Bangladesh. But they have 6 seasons. They all have Bangla names, but they have a summer season, a rainy season, autumn season, cool season, winter season, and spring season. Another interesting thing is people in Bangladesh rarely smile because it's considered a sign of immaturity. Back to the Bangla, it's the only country to declare its independence because of their language. So they wanted to preserve their language, so they fought a war and declared their independence so that they could keep their Bangla language. It's also home to the largest mangrove called the Sundarbans. 60% of it is in Bangladesh, and with the other 40% in India. Those are all my fun facts about Bangladesh.
I'm going to swallow it
So, my dinner guests tonight got Zach and our friend Connor.
Yay.
Oh, he has already got it in his mouth. Is it good?
Nice.
Yeah?
That's good.
Is it sweet?
It is.
It is kind of sweet. It's not spicy at all.
Well, I
was
didn't.
expecting something small.
Yeah, I
Did you
didn't put
intentionally
any.
not make it spicy?
Yeah. All right, how's the Paratha?
The bread?
Yeah.
Shrimp's good too. I feel
Yay.
like it's not supposed to have the tail on it, but
It is. I was supposed to be full prawns with heads and tails, but I just had shrimp instead. It was good?
huh?
All right. Yay! Rundown of the food from Bangladesh. I thought it was very delicious. It was kind of sweet. There wasn't really much spice to it. So if you like spicy food, maybe consider adding some cayenne or something just to give it a little punch. And the bread was really good. If you'd like to follow my culinary journey around the world, go ahead and hit subscribe so you don't miss a thing.